Good afternoon, everyone. We're really happy to have the opportunity to talk with you today about when innovation shapes performance and safety. My name is Nicolas. I'm head of sales for Elixir Capt.
I'm Alisa, and I'm part also of the sales team.
Good afternoon. My name is Hugues Carpentier. I'm the head of training for Egnatia Aviation.
So we decided to talk about innovation today because in aviation, when we talk about innovation, it's often about new avionics, new engine, and it's hard to find a way to bring everything together. It bring really value on the aircraft and transforming the innovation to performances to the school. And this is what we bring at Elixir. It's about leaving the comfort zone. And today the idea is to bring what we are doing, but also the operational side from Egnatia Aviation. It's a valuable customer, and this is what we want to share with you today.
So let's look a little bit about the reality today. So as Air Astana was saying, airlines need more pilot than ever. The average age of the training fleet today is approximately 50 years old. So aircraft are older and older. Students are digital natives, and airlines operate full on glass cockpits, data-driven environments. So there's the real question: how can we train? So how can we train tomorrow's airline pilot with yesterday's aircraft?
The reason why there is not many change on the aviation, for us it's kind of it makes sense because we are in an environment where you have a lot of regulations. You have safety, and safety, you cannot play with safety. It must be followed. And we see at Elixir this as in one side a big challenge to leave the comfort zone, to bring innovation, and on the other side a big opportunity. We see at Elixir, as we can see, three generations of aircraft. At the beginning, it was a lot of innovation because we are trying to make something fly. The dream of humanity is the first generation where we had wood and canvas. It was a good material. It's the first composite, by the way, the wood. People don't think about this, but it's a composite material. It was nice. It was very light, but fragile. And then with the Second World War, we have new materials and new things, innovation with the metal, what we call the metal revolution. This metal revolution is something that brings solidity, but is heavy. When you bring something heavy, you must put more power. When you have more power, you make bigger engine, and then you have this loop that goes to the side where you consume more, you use more fuel, and is not the perfect material, let's say, and the way to do for flying something. Then, during the 70s, we keep with this innovation, and we bring at Elixir what we believe the third generation with the composite materials. The composite materials, it's mostly fiberglass, but we keep manufacturing the aircraft in the same old way with ribs, spars, the same structure, and it's still heavy. It's still a way that is consuming a lot. It's asking a lot of maintenance. It's making a lot of costs on that. And with all that, at Elixir, we really started from a white page, and we started the work again, how to think to manufacture an aircraft with a new, let's say, up-to-date material. And that's how we arrived. Yeah.
Hugues, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about, was it a comfortable decision for you to implement a new aircraft into your fleet at Egnatia? How did you came across changing?
Okay, it would be a difficult decision if the company didn't have a policy to keep upgrading and getting new aircraft. The decision was not too difficult. It's a process that was a bit of a pain, having to select, aircraft through the market. So that took a bit of time. We ended up forcing ourselves, having you visiting, many of the manufacturers visiting us going to factories to find what would be the best replacement of a fleet that was used and abused and that we have now replaced.
Thank you very much. So renewing the fleet, it's elevating the performances. And what is our big innovation here at Elixir is the fourth generation. So Nicolas spoke about 1, 2, 3 generation, and why we call it the fourth generation is because we brought innovation to it. So the structure is, as you could see over here, it's only 9 structural parts that are part of the aircraft. So it's more simplicity, and it equals also more safety. So one-shot carbon structure, what is it? Well, it's what I can say, it's less parts, so less failure parts. There is no more thousands of rivets and thousands of parts bounding next to each other. But what does it really mean? It's infused in one piece. As you could see here on the screens, there is the fuselage and the wings, which are the 2 principal part of the aircraft. And it's only one piece that come out of the mold, and only one piece. So no structural life limit, stronger, lighter, and less complexity. It's the safest aircraft, and it removes all complexity. Perhaps Hugues, you also have, regarding this new structure, regarding the fact that it is a bit more robust, it can also bring a little bit more, let's say, safeness into Egnatia.
We've been operating composite aircraft since we started 20 years ago, but it was impressive for us to see that the fuselage is just one part. It's out of a mold like this. Traditionally, there are 2, 3, 4 parts that glued together later. So to see that it was technologically advanced enough to have one piece, which makes it stronger, was impressive. Plus, it's quite a bit lighter than traditional composite aircrafts, which was impressive to us as well. So few pieces is also reflecting on maintenance, because you compare the catalog of European manufacturers or American manufacturers, is thousands and thousands of references. Here we are down to 900. So that means all maintenance is saving time, far less manipulation to do, so man hours are saved. That was a promise that they made when they sell the aircraft, and we are 9 months into the operation now, and we can see the numbers showing up now that, yeah, we are saving time on the man hours of our maintenance.
Yeah, and this is, if we imagine this generation thing, it's a real change. It's a real thing, like changing and moving from the comfort zone and taking something new. And that's the value that we bring to the school like Egnatia with the performances. Also, what we try to do with Elixir, what we are doing is reduce the aircraft on ground thanks to this technology. Because at the end of the time is money, as everybody knows. The airlines here and all the people that work on aviation, they know that. With the Elixir, it's really a big asset, having in one side a design that was from the beginning done with the maintenance mindset. You have 2 big hatches to access to all the different parts. You don't need to dismount a seat to access something. It's really easy to maintain. But also the material itself, which is the one shot with only 9 structural parts, 900 parts on the catalog, that brings a very good ratio of flying. And this is what Hugues was saying for us here. It brings less downtime, better availability, and of course, better continuity for the training operations. And this is why we believe this innovation is really improving the performances and the safety, of course, of the school. Maybe you can talk a little bit about this reactivity, or the fact that we have been operating, I mean, only for a couple of months, but how did you was living this at Egnatia daily?
Well, we are using a fleet, and now we are adding new aircraft to a fleet, so we have habits, and having a previous provider, now we are learning a new culture from a young company, which until now has been, and we are really happy with that, responsive. If you fly for airlines, you know the word AOG, aircraft on ground. If the big ones are telling the customers that you cannot get your landing gear or you cannot get this part for 3 weeks, the airlines are going to sue. It's nice to see a small manufacturer who has the culture of supplying parts and services promptly. Not having my aircraft grounded for weeks is refreshing. So we're happy to see that we have an external issue, immediately the answer. We have a more critical issue, their technicians, their engineers are addressing it immediately. And that makes me confident that in the future, they will keep doing the same.
Another big point on the Elixir is safety. Safety is a non-negotiable. It's a core value of the Elixir, and as everywhere actually here in aviation. This is why we chose to add on all of our aircraft that are coming out of the factory a parachute. All the pneumatic landing gear to just really be for students, for training purposes. So we all know a hard landing can happen very quickly. So this is why we wanted to emphasize on this part. Double slotted flaps, so you can land whenever you want, wherever you want, to reduce the ground effect. Anti-explosion fuel tank, inspired by Formula One, to just bring more safety and to eliminate the risk of accidents and incidents that we all know happen regularly. This innovation reduced the risk, and I believe, Hugues, that was something also that convinces you, and that brings also a value to Egnatia, the fact that all of those safety elements can be sometimes a plus to the students, to the families, and to
the clients. The holo-pneumatic for landing gear make the handling on landing a bit safer. We know that students are not going to be gentle with their aircraft on their first solo or after. So it's nice to see an aircraft that can take it up to a point. Parachute was something that we did not look at with much interest initially, but soon we saw that students and families of the students listen to the fact that, oh, there's a parachute, is safer, okay? It has a plus towards all customers. For the rest of the equipment, well, the aircraft has this and other items that I see as safety. The G3X, which is the Garmin, has TCAS, SERI, not an option. So we can see everybody around in the airspace. The angle of attack indicator, which is new for anybody who has not flown in the military, but airlines, depending on the type, appreciate that the student will be exposed to it. And the Garmin 3X is an evolution of what has been for 20 years on the Garmin G1000. Now it's touchscreen, and it's nice to get the student exposed to the complexity of the cockpit. Even at the beginning, if it's a bit too complex, it's still nice to have something so advanced.
Yeah, and also when it comes to bringing something advanced, it's about performances of the aircraft as well. And the cost is also linked to what we are consuming. With the Elixir, we have a Hotax 912 engine, but we are probably the best in class in case of environmental footprint and consumption. And this is also a revolution in one sense. You can consume more or less 12 liters in average, depending on how you are using the aircraft, which is really, really low. We got a full day of training, 6 to 7 hours, depending how to use it, for the use of the airline, the academy. And so this also is performances. You know, it's something that is bringing value to the school. So less rotations, less time on the ground again, better productivity. And this impacts not only the ATO, but the customers of ATO. And I think Hugues has a very nice feedback to give about this.
Yeah, as I told you earlier, we have mainly integrated program, half from airlines, the other half is self-sponsored. And we recently started an MPL core course for Fly Dubai. They had the choice between DA40 and the Elixir. At first, because, well, DA40 is ubiquitous in the industry. And we told them that it's not the same category of aircraft. You cannot really compare. And I believe that the Elixir can do the job for the core course, which is really short on the MPL. And 3 weeks ago now, we had the head of training of Fly Dubai who came to visit us. And we took him in both DA40 because he never flown DA40. He's been trained 30 years ago, and on the Elixir as well. And he decided that the Elixir has plenty for the basic training we have to get. And it's also saving them money because it's enough. Okay, so all the basic training covered on this aircraft. He was impressed by the avionic. He was impressed by the TCAS, the angle of attack indicator, the flying performance of the aircraft, even if he has not flown a small one for a long time. So they defined their decision at the end on Elixir's fine.
Innovation. So we talked a lot about innovation, about what is our big innovation, but the thing that we really wanted to say, it's not all about the aircraft, it's also about the mindset. In aviation, we're always briefing, debriefing, return on experience, trying to always learn about what happened, what we can do best. So a school that renews itself, it's going to update the SOPs, evolve the instructors, modernize the tool, attract different clients, and this renewal creates the performance on itself, and this is what we believe is innovation. So aviation training is changing. Students expect modern tools. Airline expects better prepared pilots, and schools need reliability and efficiency.
And we wanted to close with that because, you know, bringing an innovation to the market is something that could be important, but we also need to take people on board. And thanks to feedbacks like Hugues, it grows us, but it grows the full industry at the end of the day. And we believe that once you try the Elixir, you want it. We have a very high number of people that try the Elixir and say, okay, this is really bringing something more. So we would like to finish inviting you to La Rochelle in our base in France to try the aircraft because it's really bringing something new to the industry. And this innovation is really bringing something from safety to the performances of the school, but for the full industry as well. Thank you so much.
Oh, here we are. We're back. Where is your flight school located? I'm sorry, I missed that part. I understand. You're in
France. Yeah. What? The flight school?
Yeah.
Egnatia Aviation is based in northern Greece.
Okay, the one
largest
with the,
ATO.
So they have their own airport.
Correct. On airport, on aviation campus, and new aircraft to go with all the new things we have now.
Yeah, ranked top 5 in Europe, as I happen to learn. So thank you very much for the presentation. We do have 5 questions, and the first one actually is from me because I work in innovation as well. So I'm just curious. I mean, not related to composites, but how long did it take before you arrived at the 9-piece setup?
How long it takes before we arrive to the 9
iterations did you have to do engineering tries or sprints?
So at Elixir, we have a design office, which is one of the biggest in Europe for the GA. Okay. I would say this continuously work. Okay, you are always working on the aircraft itself, on the design. The company today has 10 years. Okay, so in aviation, time is very short. Nothing. But if you look at what we did in 10 years, we did a lot. We make the first certification in 4 years, and then we got the industrialization, because this is the key, after 7 years. Okay, so the first industrialized aircraft from the industrial chain is from 2022. Okay, then after the full process, it takes time. I think it answers partially your question. Yeah,
I think it's revolutionary from what I've seen. All right, from the audience, any news on plans for the certified 4-seater version?
Any plans?
Any news about this plan?
Well, This is something that we don't communicate a lot about. We want to do something and we want to do it well.
Yeah.
So we start doing the first step is a two-seater. Then after, of course, you can imagine, then we start in the GA market. We are probably have some ambitions, okay? But for the moment, we don't communicate about that.
Okay. And when do you plan to communicate, if I can ask? Just a theoretical one.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have any information about that. Yeah.
All right. So you have to come again next year and find out. And a couple of one more ownership question maybe. Do you still have the 50 and 100-hour service times, or is it like the Diamond 40 with the 100 hours?
So this is well,
I can answer because the 50 hours you're mentioning is for when you're using avgas. Okay, on the Rotax engine, that means you have to do an oil change and check at 50 hours because the lead and additives in the fuel are dirtying the oil and make it more corrosive. If you're using MOGAS, it will be 100 hours. So that's something that's clear in your documentation. If you have access to MOGAS, Rotax engine is perfect and it's 100 hours. Now, if you don't have access to avgas, to MOGAS, and you have to use avgas, then you'll be required to have a 50 hours oil change and check, which increase your operational cost, but I would expect everybody can find MOGAS today.
Okay.
Avgas is a problem, in fact, in most places.
It's the fuel, so the engine. How much horsepower does it have, actually? I don't know if I caught that.
with the 912 IS, it's 100 horsepower.
100.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I know we're like past the time, but I presume we can all enjoy another couple of questions. So thanks for staying. Who can service the new composite frame? Does it need to be shipped or flown to France, or is it a long course for workshops? I'm just quoting what.
J'ai pas compris, tu veux répondre?
Yeah. Thank you, Alice.
So regarding the maintenance of the airframe, so as we mentioned, it's made out of carbon. To maintain, it's actually pretty easy. The maintenance center need to have a composite license. So for example, if you used to have diamonds, or if you're still exploiting diamonds, like for example Egnatia is doing, then it's the same license. So no, you don't have to ship it every 100 hours or 1,000 hours to France. Your regular maintenance center that is certified Rotax and composite can completely take care of that itself.
Okay. How many aircraft are you flying?
Come again?
How many aircraft? How many Elixir?
We've received 6 in 2025. We have another 6 on order plus 3 on option.
Okay. How many hours are they doing per day, roughly? On the weather allows it.
I think since we started using because we got them from, I think it was May, June, September, August, September. So they're not all the same, delivered at the same time. But I believe right now we are closing to 1,000 hours with the 6 of them.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. And one last question, unless somebody wants to ask something else, or maybe you can also put your hand up. We'll give you a microphone so everybody else can hear. After how many years does the cost of ownership become lower than the average Robin DR400? After how many years does the cost of ownership become lower than an average Robin DR400?
Well, first of all, it does not really depend on the year, but also on the number of hours that you're flying it. So that's actually a pretty tricky question. But what we can say is that you want to say something?
Yeah, I don't think it's a tricky question because the cost operation of DR400, you're going to be using an engine which is burning 25 liters per hour of avgas, mandatory. We're using an aircraft which is using MOGAS, which is using a few euro per hour. We have a maintenance cost which is extremely low, so it's going to take, I mean, it's going to recoup really fast because the cost of operation of this aircraft is years away from having an older aircraft. Even if you bought and paid for your aircraft a long time ago, your running costs are extremely high because you're using an engine which is burning expensive fuel, a lot of it. Plus, you're talking about a 4-seater, so it's not exactly the same category, so not fair. But right now we're talking about cost of operation that are extremely low, and we can see it now, man hours for maintenance, the fuel we're using, plus the ability to fly a lot. The aircraft are not spending so much time in maintenance as what we had in the past, for example, and it's allowing us to optimize the hours of a day that we have.
Okay. I've been looking at, and this is not a correct comparison, but I've been looking at electric cars recently, and it sounds a little bit like that. It's like, sorry, this is not electric, I fully appreciate.
But you know, to give an example of another aircraft, because we had this comparison, we are changing a fleet of a school for 30 aircraft, and we're gonna consume 5 less than the current fleet.
Wow.
Okay, 5 times less. So this means also a very low environmental footprint. Okay, and this is also bringing all that. So we could compare with the Air 400 with any other aircraft, you know. But today, in this class of aircraft, is by far the best in this consumption and the operating cost. Okay, and the TCO, so the total cost of ownership, is, as far as I know, one of the best of the market today, by far.
Okay.